This is the exclusive real estate auction report by Vanta Quality Assets. Investors welcome. You can visit us at vantallc.com for more information. Now, let's go to court. And at the auction, we're going to do two auctions for the week because there was such few properties for sale, but this one particularly sold on Tuesday, and that would be the 19th. And it sold for, here we go, pretty nice property, sold for $306,181, about 90% of the zestimate. Okay, it's 24 Althea Street. 24 Althea Street. It sold for this much. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now let's look at the other. Let's look at Thursday's auction. Okay. Thursday's auction is very interesting as well. You got two properties that sold. Okay, this particular one here is 720 Spring Haven Drive. This is Jacksonville, but it's actually St. Johns County. Has a pool. Pools are always nice, always nice. Look at the curb appeal of that particular house. Very nice looking home, and it sold for 68% of the zestimate, $371,900. Now the next property sold for 127 at 69%. Those are pretty good prices, I'll tell you what. Those are pretty good prices. We're very, very happy about that. 177 Aruba Lane, Ponte Vedra, Florida. Ponte Vedra, very nice. And of course, it's got a little bit of waterfront or water backyard. Although the other side has a condo complex. Well, doesn't show too much of privacy, but that's okay, you know. $127,000 for a $184,000 home, as far as Zillow is concerned, and it's not a bad deal. And that's all she wrote when it comes to the auctions for this week. There wasn't much, really. There really wasn't much. All in all, there was 6 properties both days. And in other news, pretty ominous information here from Business Insider. Existing home sales plunge in April. That was quite interesting to look at and actually to read. As you can see, the existing home sales here are quite, quite lower than usual. Sales fell at 3.3% month over month, and that's quite a bit. But you would never know it because Toll Brothers, look at their chart. And this was April right here. Yes, they fell, but they come back up again. So that particular news item was for April. Okay, prices of homes are coming back up again. And as far as the S&P 500, I always look at that because that kind of gives me the 500 major stock index. And also I look at the volume. Volume is very important because that shows participation. And the way I look at it right now, I mean, I'm looking at literally a sick market. I really don't want to comment. I'm not going to comment on this. It's not the venue, but definitely a sick market with just a few spikes in participation. Just a few spikes. I wonder where those spikes came from. I mean, let's face it. Central banks are now admitting that they are buying stocks. So let's look at a sick market right here. Does this look like a market that is not sick? Although, yes, it keeps going up. There's participation. There are spikes, quite a few spikes here. So I don't know. I'm tell you the truth. I'm at the point right now where I just totally stay away from the stock market, totally, and that's the reason why. Participation is extremely low, and CNBC viewership is at the lowest point when the S&P, the Nasdaq, and the Dow are at their highest. Does that make sense? Just to show you, mom and pop just not in the market. There's a good reason why, many reasons. But let's look at the 30-year average fixed rate. Now, when this goes up, the stock market should be going down. Well, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. And yes, I said 8, not isn't. But this is a 6-month chart of the 30-year mortgage. Let's look at one-year chart. What's going on here? Is this what they call a W bottom? Even though it's, you know, the right bottom is not all there. So let's look at the 5-year chart, and we actually could imagine a little a line, not horizontal, but you know, a little diagonal, forming between these bottoms here. And yes, in that case, technically speaking, it is a W bottom, and it actually breached the downtrend line here of resistance. So the way the chart, this particular chart says, I'm going higher. That's what it says. I've breached and I'm going higher. So we're looking at higher interest rates. So will this particular article, instead of saying April, will it say June, July? I don't know. It's up to you to look at, but I'll tell you one thing, be very careful out there. Anyway, that's all she wrote when it comes to the auctions, and let me tell you, please do your due diligence, bid well, have no fear, and take your hats off. Please take your hats off. It's court. I thank you.